We're back. It is Tuesday evening, and you are listening to Soul Perspectives here on CKUT 90.3 FM. My name is Kym Dominique-Ferguson, and I'm on the air with
Renee Jordan.
And we have two hosts from the Breakdown to Lowdown podcast, Nicky Jean and Clarence Nicolas. Welcome back. Well, welcome. And yeah, so before the break, we were talking a little bit about them individually outside of their podcast. And we want to know, how do people get in touch with you, Clarence, about your events that you're hosting, and Nikki to find out about your music and the services that you provide.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As for myself, if you want to get all the infos from my personal page, Who is Mr. Cool, and when it comes to the Shed MTL on IG, the DJ Battle, welcome to DBL, and the Brunch, welcome to R&B.
Yes, and for myself, you can follow my personal at Nicky Music at NICKYMUSIQUE. The music is spelled in French, and you can, you'll be able to reach out all of my services. You see like different segments I've done for CBC and different services that I provide. All of that is on there. And for The Spot, which is the radio show, at The Spot 903 on Instagram, at The Spot 903 on Twitter.
Great. So for the Breakdown to Lowdown, there's two parts of the show itself. The first part is focusing on analyzing and dissecting new and discovering R&B soul tracks. And in the second half, it's a little bit different, still along the same vein of pop culture, urban pop culture, but it's a little bit different. So tell us a little bit about the second half of the show.
Right. Okay, so the Lowdown is the second half of the show. Obviously, the first part is the breakdown. We get a little messy. We tend to get into all of the nitty gritty of what's going on, and we don't always keep it pretty. We're very honest, as the listeners know. Clarence has been on the receiving end of some comments, but that's what we like to do. We like to say that we are realer than real. We really don't want to put up any facades, and when you come to the Lowdown, that we're gonna have an honest conversation, and we might put our foot in our mouth. There have been weeks where I have said something where somebody's like, what, that's not how you should have said that. Let's reel it back in, and vice versa for Clarence as well. But some of the hot button topics that will always get us there, obviously, the huge racial tensions that have happened recently and that we've been discussing.
Is that racial tension surrounding music, or racial tension just in general?
In general, in the world.
Okay.
Things like...
So you sort of leave the music side on that second portion.
Sort of. We will talk about an artist, or if there's a significant change in the music industry, or there's news in that. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There's noise going on here. Can I pause it for a second?
No worries. Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about the second segment.
So yeah, that's kind of the second segment is it's a place where we can be honest with everybody, and we can look at some of the important issues that have happened, and sometimes not so important, just kind of frivolous things that have sparked major conversations throughout the week. Recently, we just had the younger woman, older man conversation, and it was sparked by a line that Drake said in a song.
What was the line?
Clarence, the line? Something about SZA. I used to date SZA back in 2008 or something. And people started doing the math, and they were kind of assuming that she was underage in 2008 versus he would have been older. And then there was a clarification of, actually, no, SZA said it was 2009, and he probably just used 2008 because it rhymed with wait or whatever that was. But it kind of
and the 1 year made all the difference.
Well, I guess she was. It's from 17 to 18, basically.
Oh man, I find that so interesting, because it really is just 1 year, and which makes it more of a law thing than anything else.
Yeah, it's absolutely a law thing. At that point, But yeah, and that sparked a bigger conversation of like, hey, like what do you think of that, like an older man and a younger woman, and we see that so often in society, and people seem to have like certain feelings about the age gap. Like if it's like 15 years, it's kind of like too much, but if it's like 5 years, it's okay. That sparked a conversation. So things like that, or separating the music from the art, which is like, whenever one of our favorite artists or actors or comedians does something, it's like, how do you still enjoy the work?
Or can you, or should you?
Should you? That's a recurring topic.
Okay, so you kind of go into the politics of music, or the politics behind the music, or sort of, I guess, the new age of music, where you no longer have an artist who is just an artist releasing music. They're also on different platforms sharing what they had for lunch, who they saw at lunch, who they went to bed with, who they woke up with, and whose tattoo was that in the picture with so-and-so,
Right.
That's the era we in right now. Like, we in their life. It's not like back in the days, like, we like, oh shit, what is Michael Jackson be eating for breakfast or whatever? Now it's in your face. That's what we talk in general on the second segment. Like, it's the part where, like, we get to share our point of view, our opinion. Yeah.
And really pick apart the music, I guess.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, and even music industry news, like when, the Grammys decided that they were going to take the word urban out of some of their categories, or when Spotify decided it was going to, quote unquote, mute certain artists on their platform after the whole R. Kelly documentaries. Like, so we definitely get into those topics as well.
Okay. I think, you know what, it just brought something to mind that I heard a couple weeks ago, and it sort of blends in with the R&B. A few weeks ago, they had said that Usher will now be performing in one of those big casinos in Vegas. Like, now he has sort of like the Celine.
Yeah, he has a residency.
Yeah, going on in Vegas. Well, hopefully they say next year, but maybe it might be the year after. We don't know.
Right.
And then someone had asked another artist if they would be interested in doing the same thing, and they said no. That's where artists go to die. Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
Never thought of it like that. I figure, Vegas would be a constant cash flow. People are there all the time, but like, do you think that's the end of the career? Is that the end of R&B? And Usher was one of those artists that sort of resonated with a lot of people. Like, I mean, I work with people from different backgrounds, and sometimes when it comes to like office music, it's like, okay, what do you play? And I think new age R&B, it's sort of hard to strike a chord with them. But when I play Usher, it seems to be a crowd pleaser.
Yes, Usher was and is an icon, but a residency is funny. People have different perspectives on it. Some people do see it as like that last ditch effort, that is the like career graveyard, but I don't see it that way, because I feel like you only get offered residency if you're a legend. Like, I mean, I'm thinking of the people who have done residencies, Celine, Tony, Usher being offered this is like huge in my opinion. Like, I don't really see why people think that, because maybe because it's like that steady flow of income, and it kind of signifies maybe money issues. It's usually associated with that. Oh, like you need to be performing every night, and in one venue it's like cheap to produce, and I don't know, but I think it's kind of like an honor.
It's an honor, to be honest. Like, they're not gonna give a residency to anybody out there just for the hell of it.
Right.
Like, it's an honor, and the bag is crazy when it comes to residency. So I don't see where the hate comes from, to be honest.
Right. I don't know if it was so much hate, or if it was more so, we don't really see those artists as much, and it means like the end of the tour life. So the end of the artist coming to your city. You being able to have access without going to Vegas to that artist. And also because they're going to be doing this every night thing, you don't really expect to get a lot of new music from them either.
Well, they kind of earn their stripes. They earn that status to the point they're like, you know what? I don't have to do city to city or go to Europe, this and that, do a 52 tour it. Like, nah, like, if you want to see me, come to Vegas. Like, that's the way that I see it, to be honest.
But also, when you think about these artists that get these residencies, these are not the 20-year-old and 30-year-old artists. These are Usher is like in his 40s now, at the very least.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, he's late 30s, early 40s at the least. So
Yes,
these are people that are kind of reaching. They've passed the oh my god, their prime. They're a little bit past their prime, and they're kind of like, you know what?
What are you saying?
They're
When you
seasoned.
reach 40, you know, I don't know. Like, there's very few people.
Usher is 41.
But
Usher is 41. I don't know if he would appreciate you saying that he's past his prime.
It's a little bit past his prime. Your prime is in your 30s, he's mid to late 30s.
I just from what you're saying, Kym, I just picture Usher coming in on with a walker.
Oh God,
being
I did not
assisted.
say that or imply that. All I was saying is that if your physical body can only take so much for so long, and Usher and Beyonce and all of these artists are artists that sing and dance, and they're going from city to city it's not an easy thing to do. So if you get a residency,
Please don't clap too loud. We don't want to stun him.
it's not an easy thing to do because like there's a physical toll that it takes, and if you have a residency, then you're cutting out a lot of travel time, which exhausts your body and your mind. You're able to do more on a.
It sounds like you're saying like
time.
he's doing this residency because he's about to croak.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is
I
that
understand what he's saying, to be honest. Like, and just to add on what he's saying, like, people like Usher, don't get me wrong, but the music is not his main focus anymore. He got multiple business venture here and there, so they got to reach meeting and all that. So if you pay attention, like,
And he has kids to take care of.
Yeah, he just had a new kid, didn't he? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
who knows what these
a
artists.
new baby mama or
new baby mama. Yeah.
Oh, we don't know Usher being out there. So
Well,
Anything is possible. Well, what I'm saying is that having that stability of being in one place, and if like, I'm just hypothesizing, but if it's that he moved to Las Vegas, so he can move his family to Las Vegas and have something that's consistent, as opposed to every week he's in a new location, or every 2 to 3 days he's in a new location. And,
absolutely.
So
it definitely has benefits. Like, I think it's stellar. Like, it's amazing. Why would you not want a residency?
Yeah.
If they offered me a residency, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, it's like the best of both worlds. You get to sing and dance. I mean, maybe the every night thing is a little exhausting, but you get
I would
used to
say
it.
maybe 4 or 5 nights a week. 5 is I would think is a lot.
I think that's what they do. Yeah, 5 is a lot. 5 is a lot.
I would say Thursday to Sunday would be maybe what day. But I don't know. I'm not in Vegas. I haven't gone to Vegas, so I can't even speculate. But I think it's I don't think it's somewhere where you go to die, but I mean, like you were saying, Clarence, you earn your stripes, you get there, and now you can change the way that you look at your career. But I must say that the amount of new material that we hear, like, I haven't heard much new material from Celine Dion since she got her residency.
Now, and actually, the line that Vegas is where you go to die was Paul McCartney that said that.
Oh.
And that is a seasoned artist.
Interesting that he would say that. Well, I don't agree with you, Mr. McCartney, but I think that, oh my gosh, I forgot your previous statement, Kym, because I had to come back, but I've already forgotten what you said. Celine Dion not releasing music. I think that for us, because I mean, I love Celine Dion. She, shout out to the hometown girl. But if I could say that I follow her in, like, you know, attentively, I don't. So I'm sure her fans would beg to differ. You know, recently I heard that she had released an album. Like, I haven't listened to it, or I don't even know the name, but I knew that there was new Celine music out, and I'm sure that her fans have, like, consumed the material. But she's at a point.
I think it was 2 years. It's 2 years old now.
2 years, okay.
Thing. Yeah.
Okay. Because I would say that people like herself, Mariah Carey, like these legends, like if they release music, it is just specifically for the fans. Like if they don't really care if it reaches the masses or not, because why would you?
Oh, but Mariah Carey releasing music, it goes to the masses. I mean, Mariah Carey just released some new music, and she released something. I think it's 30 years since her debut album. And she released
the rarities,
from back then and people are like, well, why didn't you release this music before? So I mean, these are people who have been working on music from time. So I'm sure Celine has something that she could drag out of the closet and release.
For sure.
But that's the thing too with these artists, these veterans, they drop whenever they want to drop. Like, who cares at this point? Like, I'm not necessarily looking for Celine, but if she drops in like within the next months or in the next like 2-3 years, I'm cool. She drops something, I'll listen to it, but it's whatever. Like,
that being said, how does a new R&B artist reach the next level? How do they reach that past level if they don't necessarily get the play that they got in the past? If they don't necessarily get the deals or the introduction or the promotion that they got in the past, how can you even reach that level in the industry?
See, that's a good question, because right now we're on a wait and see thing with the music industry. We really don't know what's going to happen with the current artists, because it's so new, like this new formula. We don't know what is going to constitute a living legend or like a long lasting career. It's going to be like, okay, what has 21 Savage done? Is he like to be considered as a Nas or like what are the criteria is going to be? Because everything has changed. Everything is like flipped over on its head. So it's like I can't even fully answer that question. How do you get to a Mariah or a Whitney level? Because it's like how do you sell those amount? Like, what is streaming going to become in the next few years? Like, how are numbers going to be calculated next year? Like,
how are they even calculated now? I'm not even sure how they do that. I mean, you have radio play. Some people, they listen to the radio, they listen to the music, the songs that are playing. Some people, I think maybe the main consumers, that younger crowd that consumes the music might not necessarily be the crowd who's listening to the radio. And maybe not even, I don't even know, maybe they're listening to the podcast, maybe they're not, because you're so able to direct your attention now. So like, I don't have to listen to everything. Yeah. I can just, instead of just turning on the radio and then the radio suggesting a new artist to me, I can just go on iTunes.
You can just go find what you like.
Yeah, exactly. I type in what I want, or I go straight to, if it's alternative that I like, I go into the alternative tracks. If it's country music that I want, I go into the country tracks. So you don't necessarily have those artists who, like, I mean, an artist like Michael Jackson was able to, like, gather the attention of people of so many different genres. People who were country music lovers, like, well, I love Michael Jackson. Or people who were hardcore heavy metal lovers, be like, well, I still love Michael Jackson. But can you even get that type of grouping together of people towards an artist, towards a genre, if you can't get them to listen to it?
Yeah. That's a great question. I would love to just be able to see that happen again, but I don't even see how that's possible.
Yeah.
But there will never be it's not fair to say that we're looking for Michael Jackson or whatever, because there will never be another Prince or Michael Jackson or Luther Vandross or Slash, the Eagle or whatever.
Never say never, but we're going to take a quick break.
All right.
Just in case you're tuning in for the first time, we are speaking to the folks from Breakdown to Lowdown, Nicky Jean and Clarence Nicolas. You are listening to Soul Perspectives here on CKUT 90.3 FM.